News from the Middle East as Iran's nuclear chief says the country is building a whole new generation of centrifuges for uranium enrichment. The move suggesting that Iran is going forward with its nuclear program despite this highly touted deal reached just last month with the U.S. and other world powers. Ambassador, immediately in the wake of that deal being struck, we had Iranians coming out and saying, hey, it preserves our right to continue enriching. At the same time, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry saying nothing in this deal gives them the right to continue enriching. But today sounds like they very much want to telegraph the message to their own people and to the world that they're moving forward.
Look, the deal itself says in very clear language that the end state that the parties anticipate is that Iran will continue to engage in uranium enrichment. The best that the State Department can say is, oh, but they will forswear enriching to weapons grade or continuing a nuclear weapons program. But it's one reason why this is such a wretched deal. The Iranians, I think, emerged very clearly in the superior position. They are continuing their nuclear program. They're continuing weaponization. They're continuing their ballistic missile program. The only concessions they made were superficial and easily reversible. And nonetheless, they achieved one of their critical objectives, which is getting a weakening of the international sanctions regime.
I wonder if you think that this is going to play out at all like the situation did with Syria and with Capitol Hill being a check on the president's plans, at least as we thought and we understood that they were being hinted at, possible action in Syria beyond what a lot of people were comfortable with. And, of course, there was pushback bipartisan on the Hill. Now, today we have Senator Robert Menendez, a Democrat, of course, out of New Jersey, speaking out on this, saying, you know, the Iranians are showing their true intentions here. He is one of those who has signed on to the bipartisan deal for tougher sanctions in Iran, something that we understand behind the scenes the White House lobbied these Democrats not to go public with, not to get involved with. How tough will it be for the White House to continue its diplomatic position on Iran when it's got the pushback now from Capitol Hill?
Well, the administration has already threatened to veto the sanctions bill that Senator Menendez and others on a bipartisan basis have been advocating. So they don't want this to come up at all. Obviously, they'd prefer not to face what appears to be congressional opposition. But having made the threat to veto, they are now absolutely bound to go ahead with it. I think the overall signal to Iran is they've got somebody in the White House they'd like to deal with quickly. They think they've already got a pretty good deal. I think if I were in Iran, I'd be saying, let's pick up the pace here. Let's move even further. The Speaker of the Iranian Parliament said today he wants individual negotiations with the 5 permanent members of the Security Council, meaning us, because they think they can get a better deal from the White House than they can, hard as it is to believe, from the French, the Germans, and the British.
And we'll let the viewers decide how they want to interpret that particular message. Ambassador, thank you so much. Good to see you.